Uh, AC, the Memphis Grizzlies. They are going against one of the best teams in the league to fade on the road in the Houston Rockets. Why do you like Memphis in the spot?
Yeah, we talked about games before the All-Star break. This is interesting for Memphis. They actually have a back-to-back before the All-Star break. They're playing Wednesday night against Houston, and then they're hosting Milwaukee, which is most likely going to come off a loss tonight. So out of the two games, you would think they're going to try to get one of them, even though they're a bad team, even though they have a ton of injuries. They still have Jaren Jackson Jr., and I'm a big fan of Vince Williams as well. But Matt, you mentioned it. The Rockets are only 5-20 on the road this year. They're also coming off a very impressive win against New York, right? New York's always a tough team to play and tough team to beat, and they were able to, I believe, come back in the second half to beat the Knicks there. So that was impressive for Houston. Now they have to go on the road for one game before they take a week off. I don't think those guys are going to be disciplined enough to really take this game seriously. I know Dylan Brooks might. He's going back to Memphis. But other than that, I think the guys are looking, to Cancun, looking to Cabo, looking wherever it is for the next week. But I also think it's a spot. I mean, it's +4 for a team that's arguably, from a talent standpoint, with all of their injuries, could be, you can make an argument, it's the worst talent outside of Jaren Jackson in the NBA. And they're only 4-point underdogs against a team that just beat the Knicks. So I like Memphis here. I'm trusting my gut here with the spread. There's really no analytics behind this. I think this is more of a spot. This is more of a game before the All-Star break. And I think Memphis is going to get one of these two. And I don't think they're going to beat Milwaukee. So I think they'll beat Houston.
No Fred VanVleet for this one. Tari Easton's also out. Cam Whitmore is out. They did get that win versus the Knicks in a game that is going to be that has been protested to the NBA because the Knicks decided that that's a thing to spend time on. By the way, my hope for that outcome is for them to grant the restart. That there's going to be like 1.4 seconds left for them to fly New York to Houston, for them to do a they'll have to do a tip, right? Because it was a shot and then it shouldn't have been called a foul. Do a jump ball. And then because like you can't take away what happens in that event. Do a jump ball with like 1.5 seconds left. And then I want Houston to get the ball and make a half court shot. And just have
Was it
the
a tie
Knicks
game?
travel
And then New
all
Matt,
the
York
before
has
that,
to
was it a
fly back
tie?
out.
to what? Yeah. Yeah.
So it was a tie. So it'll likely go to overtime,
It'll
basically, if
likely
they
go to
do
overtime.
it. It'll just be crazy because they'd have to warm up and do all this shit, put on
Mm-hmm.
jerseys, all this shit.
For 5 minutes. Yep.
Oh boy.
I badly want it to happen. I really want them to have to fly to Houston and then play this. And then what the ideal would be for Houston to get the ball and make a half court shot. And so they only play for a second. They go through all of this just for
Yeah,
them
that would be nice.
to play 1 second. That would be my ideal. Yeah, they'll probably just say no, the time's expired, and they'll just play the overtime. If they decide to overturn it, which not a lot of precedent for that, despite the admitted bad call. Okay. Look, I've got this higher just because I've got, Houston's going to have a higher power rating just based off of the underlying stats and their performance at home. So I've got this like 8. I would agree with you. The number is suspicious. Like the number is suspicious enough. I don't want to bet Houston. And the injuries, I think, in fact, move this much more in the direction of 4. And look, Memphis can do some stuff, but boy, I do applaud you for the very gross play, AC, because that's a nasty one. But I gotta admit, although I will say this, Houston 3-0 straight up, 2-1 ATS as a road favorite. So the market has known how to price them when they've been favorites. They've just struggled with how they've underperformed badly when they're not the better team on home court.